Hello everyone. Today I want to do a quick project walkthrough. I'll be showing you a project I call Mike's Hotel Revised. I created a project when I was learning web development and called it Mike's Hotel. The project was very bare and had simple HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. This is an improvement on that project, and I just wanted to show how far I've come with my design and development skills. This project is built using React.js, Express, Node.js, Bootstrap, and finally Postgres for the backend. So without wasting time, let's just get into the project. The project is hosted here on Mike's Hotel. I am also going to include the link to this project in case you want to browse for yourself and actually experiment. So now, as you can see, we have an intro video. So basically welcoming you into the hotel, you know. And then as you scroll down, instead of Lauren data, I actually have actual text, and some images this time of what you expect when you go to Mike's Hotel. So I could say Mike has upgraded. So now the idea is to actually show Mike's Hotel as a more luxurious destination. So what I did, I actually did some research. I looked at some high-end hotels and looked at what they have to offer, and also used some of them as references. You know, um, let's first go into rooms. So when we check out the rooms, okay, we have your residential suites, your single room, or your double room. So let me see. I think I'm looking towards single room today. And then remember the feature I actually showed in the previous project where if you click an image, it's supposed to be large. So now I actually managed to implement it. So now if you actually click, let's see how the living room looks, I can actually see how the bedroom looks, and the user can actually get a proper view of their room. Um, description, okay, the description again, it's not lorem ipsum data, so I feel like it's more descriptive. You can read it. It mimics real life hotels, first of all, and then in your hotel you can also get the amenities. Tells you what you have in your single room, all the stuff, Wi-Fi, air conditioners, how many parking. Excuse me. Cool. And then let's not put this one. Let's check my mind. I feel like I wanna go to the presentation suite now. So presentation suite again. Oh, this is better. Again, let me just see how it looks. You can actually browse through the images. Um, yeah, there's a pool, I guess, and then the amenities now get a bit different. So with the changing rooms, you get more and or different amenities. So let's actually go straight into the booking. So if I was to book, I click on the calendar or around this area, and let me book for the following month. Let's say from Friday to Saturday. So automatically will calculate for you that it's basically 2 nights stay, 3 days, but it's actually 2 nights. And price is in South African rands, so it's 21,000 rands. So now let me actually do the booking. So my name, and the email. So now, unlike the previous example, what I did here, I actually limited to two guests because again, since we're looking to target a high-end market with this specific hotel, usually we want to limit the number of visitors to a certain number, and that number is at the moment two. Yeah. So two. Right now it's one. Yeah, two guests. Let's go two guests. And then now the reason I actually entered my real email instead of fake test email is, as I mentioned, I actually included more backend into this project. So when I actually send the booking, let me send the booking. It's gonna send what's this call to the API, and they go booking successful. Your reference number will be sent to email. Okay. So in the meantime, check out the experiences we have available. Okay. Before I say okay, so basically what happens is by booking, you actually stored the data, like who I am when I'm coming to the hotel, and how many guests I have. It's stored to the database, which is Postgres, by the way. So I stored it there. What else do I do? So yeah, and again, in the router, when in the API call I made, I actually also included a code to the backend, to the what's this? To the I also included a SMTP. So now what also happens is you actually get an email. So when you book, you actually get a live email. So let's just check the experiences. Okay. So now you can also browse like what else the hotel has to offer, like what other experiences they have. Let's see. Oh, they have a spa nearby. You know, that's it, fine. But I feel like I'm gonna just leave this for you guys to actually explore. But then at the end, you can still book this experience. And like as I said before, with research, I noticed that some hotels usually have partnered with nearby tourist destinations. So that's the idea with this approach, that you can actually book the hotel and then get get discounts if you actually come if you book through the hotel. So let me enter my email and then phone number and then what day I'm coming in. I said it's next month, so just say on the 4th. No special requests, just a moment, okay. But now unfortunately this part isn't connected to the back end, so this is just for sure on front end. And then before we actually view booking, okay, let me actually go to view booking, find booking. So enter your reference number. So the thing is, where's my reference number? I actually have to go to let me just go to my emails. So there's one of two things you can do. You can either click on this button, which is going to send you to the page, or just copy your reference number, then enter it here. Then cool. Now we have my booking details. Here's the guest name, email, check in, check out, number of guests, excuse me, the room price, and then the total, obviously, at the end of the day. And then here's my reference number. So now I also included what's this, a QR code and a PDF. So the reason for the QR code is sometimes you might be actually booking from your laptop and then you're like, okay, I've done the booking, but now I actually want to send it to someone else. You just scan the QR code and then send that specific link. And also, let's say you're looking for someone else or for a friend, you can also download the PDF. And then the PDF, if you click on it, it actually shows you what's this? It shows you the details, and again, you find the QR code. Okay. And then also have a cancel booking button. But before I cancel the booking, let me go the other route. So the other option was to actually click this button. This button would actually open a different tab, but again, it's the same information that you just saw. So yeah, and then finally, what another thing that you can do is cancel booking. It's gonna ask you if you show so for confirmation. Yes, cancel successfully, and then booking. So now, if I actually search for this specific booking, paste, search, booking not found. So yeah, that's basically the more updated version of the website. But again, as I said, it's not necessarily to update Mike's Hotel, but it's more a way to showcase how far my skills have come. And I didn't really want to do too much. I mean, there is room for more, but I just felt like I don't want to go outside the scope of hotel because I feel like if I actually started adding more stuff, there's some things we're missing to do. So I'm just sticking to the scope of this specific website. That's the first thing. And then, since we've come to the end of the actual presentation, what I will say is the site, if you want to actually see the code, I'm also going to add the link underneath this video, so you can see the link underneath this when it takes you to the mini. So then you can actually view the code. Uh, yeah, so that was Mike's Hotel. So closing this video off, what I want to say is I actually want to get into basically the lessons and challenges I faced during making this project. So first thing is again, as I said earlier on, first project was mainly front end, whereas this one was more full stack. So with that, I actually had to make the database myself, even though it wasn't really a complicated database. I didn't want to focus too much on the back end. So it's just one table within the database. You know, and in that database, I had to create the routes, create the APIs, and so that was all me. Excuse me. So I did all of that. So that was just a challenge, slight challenge, I would say, but wasn't really a huge issue, I would say. Um, Another thing was talking to users. Like when it came to this specific project, I actually talked to users. See their experiences using the application, getting to hear what they want. Because initially I didn't have the QR code, the PDF. So it didn't really make sense to, well, if someone just books the hotel and then what, like how will I come back to my booking? So that's where the idea of actually creating a whole reference reference number, also the QR code and the PDF. The reason why I created the PDF, again, I explained it in the video, but I'll explain it again. It's because sometimes you don't want to lose your booking. What else? Maybe you want to send it to someone else. So these are very important reasons, to crucial reasons actually to have your PDF. So um, getting user inputs is also like was very important in this project. I think the hotel wouldn't necessarily look as nice or as beautiful as it does look right now if it wasn't for user input. And all the suggestions, even the reference number on its own, that again was a user suggestion, after some testing, you know. So I think what I've learned coming out of this project is okay, obviously user experience comes first. So um, I think in terms of talking to the users, I think I did more of that with this specific project than I did with prior projects. And sometimes, the issue is we go off of what's in our head. It's like I create something like I think users are going to enjoy this. And without proper user feedback, you won't necessarily get to create like the best projects. So that was Mike's Hotel. Thanks for checking out my project. I would appreciate feedback on this project. Feel free to interact with the project by clicking the link below and checking out the code on GitHub. Once again, thank you for checking the project with me.